What's going on, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of the Meadows and Makers podcast. I'm your host, Greg Dowd. Hope everybody is having a great week. Had a great week. I'm a week back from doing my farm sitting at a friend's place in our Freedom Cell group. So, uh, need to catch up with you guys. There's some different stuff going on in the world. We got AI going all over the place. We got Elon and Twitter. Elon kicking some people out of Twitter for uh, the release of the "What Is a Woman" documentary. We've got people losing their minds all over the place, as per usual in this kind of reality that we live in right now. So yeah. Anyway, this podcast is about me trying to bring some solutions to the table, at least some things that I feel like are helpful for myself and for others. So, what's up, Crimson Clad? Thanks for being here. You hate Matt Walsh in general, but it was a well done documentary. Yeah. Uh, yeah. The Daily Wire, I guess my opinion on it is uh, Ben Shapiro's still like a neocon pretty much, and I guess he was one of the founders of the Daily Wire and stuff. But they do put out some interesting content. So that's the one thing I don't like about people that would be on the conservative side of things is like sometimes they're still like super warmongers and stuff. So um, yeah, I'm not really. I don't really like Ben Shapiro. Let's see. Yeah, you don't love him as a person. A lot of how he approaches stuff, but he had some good laughs in there and wasn't being absurd at all. Yeah, my favorite part, because I didn't see the full documentary of What Is a Woman. I went and watched it a few days ago, and the my favorite part was when he was interviewing that one lady, and or it was either I think it was one of the guys that he interviewed. He was like a professor or something, and he kept asking him what a woman was, and he just kept repeating like a woman is a woman, and it is interesting because there's a lot of this like modern like the postmodern theory and a lot of this stuff that I've been learning about over the past week. It's all about creating uh, a relative kind of a relativism, um, whether it be with morals or actually reality in and of itself. So it's like reality can be subjective, and my view of reality is different from your view of reality, and so there's the having that as your way of thinking, you can kind of manipulate the world into whatever you want it to be, really, instead of you know everyone being able to agree on some kind of foundational objective, that there is an objective reality, and that you need that as a foundation for number one, so that we can communicate with each other. Because as these people define these different terms, and what is saying like what is true to me is different than what is true to you. It's like we can't come to find some kind of common ground together. And I think that's a big issue of what we're seeing today, is that there is this such a huge split and divide. And I think it is, that the education system, number one, is one of the big things to blame in that regard. Let's see. Crimson, you're saying, yeah, being mad about being told that a circular definition is by definition not a definition is honestly pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I got to watch that one recently. I appreciate that they were able to get that out to more people, and that I don't know, hopefully people will be able to kind of see the absurdity of the whole thing, and them just going, the whole thing with trying to go after kids is it just makes me sick, man. It's like um, somebody posted on Twitter today. I retweeted it. Leanne Starr is a content creator that I follow, and she showed something from one of these pride parades where this guy was wearing a shirt that said "trans kids are sexy." And this is going in a direction that's like normalizing pedophilia. It looks like, and it's like these people are trying to willingly harm kids, and then you know just take people down a road of just complete immorality in our society. So I want to reject that, and I want to move in a different direction. I don't want to have anything to do with that kind of a system or society. And that's a lot of what I do, and a lot of why I do what I do is because this, looking around at society, it's like we got to get back to a um, a foundation of morality in our society, and people need to, you know, treat each other well. Get back to being a more moral people and having uh, solid nuclear families. A lot of our society and a lot of people's minds can be manipulated if they don't have a strong nuclear family. It's somebody that a lot of times in life, like that'll might be the last thing that you can rely on. Might be some family. So, um, you know, otherwise you got to turn to other sources for somebody to get your needs met, and a lot of times that's mommy or daddy government. Um, so yeah, you know, but we as people have the ability to start working together, even though that can be difficult. A lot of times it can be difficult to work with other people, especially if you are a staunch individualist. But I am really liking what we've got going on with our Freedom Cell group. We've got a lot of stuff going on soon here. One of the guys in our group has he started his own farm doing regenerative uh, rotational grazing of cows. So he's got some cows that are some steers that are going into be processed soon, and I've got one of them reserved for myself. And actually, I'm going to be once I get the cow, I think I'm gonna my goal is to start going like total carnivore and starting to do total carnivore diet and see start maybe doing this for like 3 months and then see how I go, and if I can keep it going and see where I get with as far as losing weight and getting into a little bit better physical shape. So we got that going on. That's happening this week. And then I've also got a new freezer coming in for that. So had to buy a freezer so I could store all the meat. And yeah, we got other people in our group that are doing the same, buying from him, like getting our own little economy going with food, because that's super important, is to secure some kind of resources in the case of what you're growing for your food. So I got that going on, and more work on the aquaponics system out there at the makerspace. That has been going really well. I got some plants in there in the system, and the fish and the plants are going together really well right now. I don't know if I showed you guys some of the. If you're following my Twitter, you can check out some of the pictures I've been posting. But here was the latest
on the aquaponics system.
Yeah, here's the latest. I just posted a short video on what all is happening with this. But yeah, if you were keeping up, I was showing some photos of what it looked like before and then after I put this UV filter in there. Um, so yeah, this is what the tank looked like before I put this UV filter in there, and we put a cover over it, and then
on the aquaponics system,
here you go. Here's what it looks like after. And I don't know if I talked about this last time, but yeah, there was like a vinyl cover over this thing, and the wind kind of blew it over, I guess, and it kind of messed up my automatic feeder. So the last time I was out there, I took it off of there, and so it's been off of there for a little while, unless somebody at the makerspace put it back on. I'm not sure. I haven't been looking at the makerspace chat. I haven't been able to catch that in a few days. But when I'll be going over there tomorrow, and I'll be giving another update on how it is, how it's going. But yeah, the water clarity is super great. Still seeing that the fish are looking really healthy, and then the plants are growing in there as well. So let me play you guys this video real quick, so you can check out what's happening on there. So let's go ahead and kick that on. All right, y'all.
came over and we've had a cover over the tank for a few days. Well, probably about a week now. And I also installed this UV filter for algae, and looks like it's taking out the algae really well. I just fed the fish, and you can see this one guy is pretty active going after all the food. And then we got a bigger fish over here that's kind of just chilling. But really impressed with the water quality change after installing the UV filter. This was like super cloudy, super green. And one thing I noticed coming out today though was that the automatic feeder had been kind of blown over, I guess, by the wind, and the cover that we had over it was just like something like a tarp, kind of like a vinyl tarp, and I guess that kind of messed it up a little bit. But looks like everything's really running well, and the water system is cycling like it's supposed to. The system's been running now continuously for probably about 3 weeks, because I had an issue.
Oh yeah. So I didn't realize that video stopped, but what was I talking about there with that issue? The issue was the return from the sump tank, from the bottom part of the system here, this like tote, the line, the vinyl tube that ran back into the aquarium, it had fallen out because I didn't have it secured well enough, and the water from that sump all drained out, so there was no circulation going on in the tank. Luckily that was before we introduced the fish, but it kind of was able to show me that if that does occur, then there will still be enough water in the tank for the fish so that the fish won't die out. And that's the cool thing about this design is that standpipe that's in there. It only acts as an overflow. It doesn't create a suction to. It can't create a siphon to siphon out all the rest of the tank. So that works really well. So super happy with how that's going, and really stoked on that project because there's more interest in it that here in town, and a couple of people from the makerspace were excited to possibly build a system, and we're in talks, and I'm talking to my friend Robbie on how what we could do to make this a workshop and provide kits, because they have that capability there at the makerspace. And if there's some people that are seriously interested in that, then I talked to Robbie about doing some kind of deal with him so that a percentage of any of the kits that are sold or workshops that are done will go back to him. And I told him to let me know like what percentage he would want if we get into doing something like that. So we're talking about that right now with the that aquaponics system, and it's still a prototype system, so we're still like tweaking things here and there and adding some more things. Like, since we're at a makerspace and these guys have such there's some guys there that are really good at like automation and things like that and I have a little bit of experience doing some of those things, that we are going to see what we can do to automate more of it, at least put in things like temperature sensors and just a camera for live feed, and maybe some way of doing some kind of maybe reading at least the pH in the water, and then being able to take that data over time and like kind of see how things change and things like that, depending on the environment, the weather conditions, things of that nature. So that's the plan going forward for the aquaponics system. Last week I was missing from the show because I was out on my friend's farm doing watching over their animals while they were out of town, and so here's a picture of over at their place. And while I was over there, they were nice to let me borrow their equipment so that I could. I needed to get rid of some of the roosters that are in my flock of chickens, and I didn't really want to do this. I was kind of dreading having to do it, but yeah, the neighbor at my parents' place, they are also raising chickens, and they were nice to actually donate 3 hens to us to add to our flock, because they've got a ton of chickens, like more than they can handle, I guess, or more than they want to feed. And they asked if we would take a few, and so we took them. And when we introduced them to the rest of the chickens back there, they're down the hill a little bit over there, that they started picking on the one hen that they had was fully mature, and she's already laying eggs. So basically all the roosters were trying to go after the one mature hen. And I basically had, how many roosters did I have? I got rid of 6, and I kept 2 of them. So I had 8 roosters, and I think like only 6 hens at the time, so the roosters were outnumbering the hens quite a bit. So anyway, I was able to go over there and do the deed, and probably about the only way I can do that, because I do feel bad doing that, but it's kind of a part of the circle of life. Something has to die for something else to live. Uh, was to kind of say a prayer for the animals and thank them for their lives and being able to add sustenance for myself and my family. Um, and so they had all the stuff to get that job done. They've got these little. They have a couple of stainless steel pots, and uh, it's fairly simple. They've got the stainless steel pots. Like one of them, I put ice water in. So after the chicken's feathers came off, that I could put it in that ice water bath, and it would keep it. It would keep them nice and fresh. And then at the end, I would do all the taking out all the evisceration, taking out all the guts and everything. And then they also had this cone tank on the or sorry, it's a cone, a restraining cone, and it's back here in the distance. And then those are they just make it so that you can put the chicken down in there, and it's kind of holding on to it, kind of holds on to their wings, and they're kind of like subdued some because they're upside down. And then it's really quick. You just cut you just do the deed real quick and let them bleed out. And then you just come over here into this first bucket over here, and you just set it to about 140, 150 degrees or so Fahrenheit. And so it's just like a pretty high simmering heat, not quite getting to the boil. And then just for 15 seconds, you hold the chicken in there, and then that's good enough to allow the feathers to be able to come out from the skin. And then they had a plucker, and I think I pulled up kind of maybe an example of one of the pluckers. Maybe not. Thought I did. I did not. But I can real quick. Let's see. Chicken feather plucker. Which is a really simple device. It's just, people DIY these things all the time. Let's see. Star Pluck SP1 chicken plucker. I think that was what it was. Let's see if I can show you what I was using. Pluck SP1 chicken plucker. Let's see. This is a review of it. Hold on. This is not what it is. Let me see. I think I saw it here. Yeah, this is basically what it is here. Which you can find them on eBay, it looks like. But yeah, it's just like a stainless steel thing, and it's just got a motor in the bottom in a little table, and it's got all these like rubber pieces in there that are like fingers, and then it just like rotates really quickly and is able to just pluck the chicken really quickly. And I was able to put them in there, and it was able to just defeather the roosters really quickly. So it makes the job really really fast, and so I was super thankful for them allowing me to have access to that, and cleaned it up and everything for them, and um, just made it really quick and easy. So if you're gonna do multiple chickens, then I think that's like a something you can invest in right there. This piece of equipment right here. Uh, this one they're showing for about $600, and the way that they did it, they bought the piece of equipment, but I am contributing to using it. So part of the farm sitting, I told them that you know that I could be a contribution to using the machine. So it's good if you got like multiple chickens that you're going to do at once. It's like I would definitely get one of these. Um, it just makes it easy. Like you throw the chicken in there, and then you just have to use your hose and have kind of like one of the shower settings on one of those shower nozzles on a garden hose, and you just spray it down while the chicken's in there, and it's got like an area where the feathers can fall out and down, and then they just fall down through a this opening that's in there on the side, and then they just fall out onto the ground. And so yeah, basically nothing was wasted with this. I At the end of all of it, after the evisceration and everything, I boiled like all the guts and everything from the chickens, and ended up feeding that to their dogs, and they ate it all up, man. So basically nothing was wasted there. No part, no part of the animal was wasted. So felt pretty good. Felt pretty good about that. Um, so yeah, guys, just a bunch of just random stuff has been going on. We've got batteries coming in from a group buy that's been happening recently with our group. Some more lithium iron phosphate batteries, and folks are getting some of those so that all that can get hooked up. Um, I still have to get all my batteries hooked up with a BMS, but I recently learned that the BMS that I bought may not be the best one because it has a really low amount to low amount of amps to be able to charge the batteries, and there are some problems associated with it. So um, so I'm looking at possibly having a different BMS in the purchasing a new BMS battery management system for those batteries. But yeah, a lot of folks in our group are starting to set up or buy the equipment and buy the batteries for setting up their own little backup solar power system. And so yeah, that's been another thing that's been going on locally here. And then I had some car trouble recently that I had to work on. And that's one thing that I wish I take some videos of. I wish I had taken a video of, because uh, it actually looks like it's going to be a bigger issue than I thought. And I might have to remove a few different things and replace a few different things on my Jeep coming up soon here. So it was a pulley, one of the pulleys I replaced recently, the tensioner pulley. And I don't know if I may have over tightened the tensioner pulley or what it was, but I heard some squeaking coming from the engine, which is like a loose pulley or something, typically, and noticed that one of the belts was trying to kind of walk off of the fan belt for the radiator, and so anyway, those how-to videos kind of do really well, I've noticed, and would probably help me grow my YouTube channel, which is I guess if you got to get like over like 1K subscribers or whatever, and then you can do like super chat capabilities and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I'd like to get some more how-to content and stuff out there just to like help grow that channel and maybe make some money off of the channel in general. But what else is going on in the world, guys? Lots of news. There's a few things that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I was playing with Stable Diffusion earlier, and one of my description was a man just stepped outside his house looking toward the sky at a swarm of killer flying drones. And this was one of the images it made. I don't know if you did I get back over there? Here we go. So yeah, I kind of want to make this into a meme. It's like the year is 2050, and there's like a bubble over this guy's head, and he's saying, "Hey, the killer swarm drones aren't that bad today." As he walks outside. So here are some other ones. Like the hands are really messed up on these, and it's like kind of like a general image of a person or a man. This is like two indistinct people in like one giant drone. And then here is a dude in, he looks like I don't know what's going on with his jacket there, but something's weird is going on. And then a few little drones flying in the air. But I thought this one was the best one out of all those ones. So I've been playing with that, and then I've been looking at what was that other one? Midjourney was the other one that was talked about previously, and I guess you can do that through Discord, and they have their own Discord server, Atrium AI, and there might be like some kind of a bot that you can import or something to Discord, but I haven't looked into it far enough yet, and it looked like you might have to like pay for it. So, so that's something I might play around with for if I could find a good one that would help me make like titles for videos and things like that, like the art for it and stuff like that. I might look into doing that kind of thing. I wanted to cover this article tonight. I had just heard about this, but see, this is from Zero Hedge here, from Monday, June 5th, 2023. And this is about Ireland, which they are, I guess, talking about trying to get rid of a bunch of cows. So, let's see. The article is saying that livestock production, primarily cows, has apparently become such a problem for the climate that government officials in Ireland are mulling over a plan to kill hundreds of thousands of Cows. The Irish Mirror said a new Department of Agriculture report shows officials plan to kill 200,000 dairy cows over the next 3 years to combat climate change. We told readers in late 2022, forget oil, now they are coming for the cows. And that's apparently what the climate alarmists in Ireland are preparing to do. Ag website Farming Independent said it recently obtained the report via a Freedom of Information request. Cuts to the dairy herd of 65,000 cows per year for the next 3 years will be needed to meet agriculture's climate targets, Department of Ag officials have estimated in an internal briefing paper seen by the Farming Independent. The website said cuts to the dairy herd of 65,000 cows per year for the next 3 years will be needed to meet the agriculture's climate targets, Department of Ag officials have estimated in an internal briefing paper seen by the Farming Independent. A spokesperson for the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine told the Irish Mirror the paper referred to was part of a deliberative process. It is one of a number of modeling documents considered by the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine, and is not a final policy decision. The Ag Agency added, as part of the normal work of government departments, various options for policy implementation are regularly considered. Meanwhile, Pat McCormick, the president of the Irish Creamery Milk Suppliers Association, railed against the plan to cull dairy cows. McCormick said if there is to be a scheme, it needs to be a voluntary scheme. That's absolutely critical because there's no point in culling numbers from an individual who has borrowed on the back of a huge financial commitment on the back of achieving a certain target that's taken from under him. We should be investing in an infrastructure that can deliver from a scientific perspective, and we know low emissions are better, and we should be continuing to invest in further science and research because that's absolutely critical as we move forward, McCormick said, who was quoted by the Irish Times. Ireland's farming sector appears to be under attack by climate nuts. Remember what the end goal might be. Eat up your mealworms. Insects could soon be on the menu in Ireland. And so there you go. Save the planet. Eat your bugs. I'll keep eating beef and figuring out how to support farmers that are raising beef. So, what's going on, man? What's up, Normak? What's up, Rondon? Good to see you guys in here. Shalom. What is going to eat all the grass and enjoy your wildfires? Exactly. Yeah. So, it's pretty ridiculous, and I hope everybody, that sees this stuff going on, can figure out how to do some kind of agriculture, or at least support somebody that's doing some local agriculture and raising some animals and doing some of that yourself. A really cool thing that I learned about recently is more stuff about goat backpacking. YouTube. One of my friends was telling me about like all this stuff you can do with your goats. Like, and this guy has like a pretty cool video on YouTube about all the cool stuff you can do with a pack of goats. Actually, it's like goats are actually really good at living with human beings, because if you bottle feed a goat, it kind of like imprints to you. And uh, this might be the guy that does this stuff right here, but yeah, he can load up these goats, and you can walk with them like anywhere. Like they can pack all your gear for you and go. You can. They're like little all-terrain vehicles, basically, and that you can use as food if you need them.
Come on, baby.
So let's see. In one of
Slip.
these videos, this guy was kind of talking about like kind of all the stuff, all the benefits of having goats with you. But yeah, basically, like once the goat imprints to you when it's a baby, when you bottle feed it, then they are herd animals, and I guess they're matriarchal. From what I understand, from what the guy was talking about on his video, and they will follow you. They will always go where the alpha of their herd goes. And so, yeah, you can have like a herd of goats kind of follow you and like pack equipment for you, and they're the kind of like one of the ultimate survival animals, I guess, is having a herd of goats with you. Um, so yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Just maybe it's not this guy, but there was a good video where the guy was explaining all the great benefits of having all these goats. I probably got it. I probably got it in my phone. So while I go and look for that, where did I want to? Where did I want to get to here? It's right here, I think. See. See, Normock, you're saying they had a bunch of farmers who were sending out sheep and goat herds to mow down various lots in California. Some smart politicians noticed the shepherds weren't getting paid overtime for hanging out with the herds, and now have basically priced out the goat sheep industry for lot clearing. Wow. Wow, yeah, I saw a one of the comedians I follow, Chrissy Mayer. She was somewhere up in New York, and it was either sheep or no, it was goats. They basically had these goats trained to some electric fence, and they were just moving the electric fence around. I guess maintaining the grass at the park. They were just like renting out these goats to, I guess, manage the fields there. so, um, so yeah, it's pretty cool. All the kind of stuff you can do with the goats, and like, if you get some going for the goat's milk, like I was able to get a bunch of goat's milk from my friend from their farm, and that was really good. It was raw, so like raw goat's milk, and so it went bad pretty quickly. Like I can already taste it's kind of funky. It's been about a week, and my plan is to turn that into soap, goat's milk soap, and I just need to buy some lye, and then I need to freeze the milk, and then you add the lye in with the frozen milk, and that's supposed to keep it from burning, and then you can add like stuff for essential oils, and I'm planning to add some biochar to the soap because it could be used as like an exfoliant, and um, help get the dead skin layers off, and then trap toxins and stuff, supposedly. Allegedly. Allegedly. In Normark, they are back to lawnmowers that burn fossil fuel, which is what they want to get rid of, apparently. Yeah, I mean, like, if it made sense, it only makes sense if you don't think about it. um, so, so yeah, I mean, the whole thing about what these guys talk about with this whole environmentally friendly and everything like that is a bunch of bullshit because there are plenty of alternative technologies out there that, we wouldn't have to be, so dependent on all these fossil fuels that they want to get rid of. Um, but just aren't going into like production and stuff. So, uh, with the biochar, you should be able to make live fairly easy, I think. So I did look into the process of doing that. You actually have to burn down you have to have wood ash, and then with the wood ash, I think you just have to basically like put water through the wood ash, and then like strain like any of the particles out of it, or anything like that. And then I think that, I mean, that's a basic like sodium hydroxide. It's potash, or sorry, potassium hydroxide. Sorry, and you can make a really basic lye with that. So maybe I'll make one with like some high grade lye. It's all about like it's all about the concentration of the lye. So I watched a video on that. It's like in the old days they used to use eggs, and they would determine the concentration based on like how much the egg would float in the concentration or whatever. And so like you need like a certain concentration of the lye with the wood ash. So you need a certain amount of wood ash to be able to make a high enough concentration of lye that you can use in your soaps. So I might try both ways. I might experiment with doing that because it would be cool to prove that, okay, we can just take our wood ash, and then I got a buddy or a friend that's got goat's milk, or whatever kind of fat. I think you need some type of fat to make soap. It's basically this chemical process with the lye and the fat, and then that helps you to create soap. Um, so yeah, we're gonna try it a couple different ways. There's a chemical supply place that's really close to where we live here, so so they have like free pickup. Like like you go there, you order the stuff, you go pick it up, and it's like right down the road over here because they make biodiesel stuff. It's called a company called Duda Diesel. I'll show you guys real quick. But they ship all over the place. But it just so happens that this place is local to here because there was I used to know one of the guys on our Formula racing team in college. I did that in college for a little bit. He knew this guy, and so he was a graduate of UAH and engineering, I think, and he was super into like doing biodiesel stuff and chemistry type things, and he created this company, Duda Diesel. And so these guys are a local company, but they ship all over the country, but they have like all kinds of chemicals related to biodiesel, but it's like, you can get like all kinds of different chemicals here. Sulfuric acid, potassium hydroxide or lye. This is what I would be buying. So a 2-pound little thing of it, it's about $8 for $8 a piece if you buy a couple of them. And then I guess you could buy like a pallet of them for, or a 50-pound bag of potassium hydroxide. If I was gonna make a lot, but I'd like to just kind of see what happens in the beginning here. But where is this? Yeah, they just so happen to be right down the road from us. What's up, Mariano? What's going on, my brother? My brother. I was just sharing a link for this biodiesel chemical supply because I'm looking at making some goat's milk soap from this goat's milk that I have, that my friend gave to me for helping with the farm sitting. And so, yeah, man, what's been going on, dude? The last time we talked, it was like a few weeks ago. I'm glad to hear you're still alive and kicking, man. And what you been up to, dude? Uh, I hope everything's going good for you. Months, actually. Has it been that long since we saw you on here? Since I saw you on here? Maybe it has. Oh, cool. Congratulations. You bought a house. Congrats, man. That's a big deal. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. That's gooder than hell right there. So yeah, if you guys want some chemicals and stuff, like they'll ship them to you. But that's a pretty good place to pick up some chemicals. Due to diesel, these guys are super cool. We used to pick up like these 55-gallon drums of like methanol from them for a research project I was working on when I worked at UAH. Um, so so yeah, and then let's look up the process of making lye with from wood ash. So the process of making lye from wood ash. From ashes. To make lye from wood ash, you need a wooden barrel, metal containers for the ashes, rain barrel to collect water, and safe containers to capture the leached lye water. Involves boiling the ashes from a hardwood fire in a little soft water. Rainwater is best. To make lye water, drill 6 small holes in the base of a barrel. Place 1 to 2 inch layer of stones at the bottom of the barrel. Add 3-inch layer of straw on top of the stones and fill the remainder of the barrel with wood ash. Prop the barrel up on sturdy blocks so you can place a bucket underneath and slowly pour rainwater over the ash. The liquid that is collected from this process is wood ash, lye, or potash solution. The finished soap will vary a little in strength, but you can use slightly stronger soap for laundry and slightly weaker as a bath soap if it varies too much. So that's a description of the process simply. So I think you just I think you can have like all types of different fat, and I guess that's why you can use the milk. But yeah, anyway, like okay, here's a simple drawing of how you could do this in a wooden barrel, and you just fill that sucker up with a bunch of ash, and I guess you just put some straw and gravel at the bottom. You have some holes so that it can drip through, and then just collect it into a bucket. And So what I wanted to look at was like what kind of concentration you would need um, to get the lye to. And I don't know if they don't really talk about that. The first run will be strong enough to cut grease, but succeeding runs of lye will have to be poured through your processor twice. The finished solution is finished though, since the leaching barrel produces the same results you'd get by boiling the wood ashes. A bit of trial and error taught us that hickory, sugar maple, ash, beech, and buckeye are the best producers of lye. Most hardwood ashes will do, though, and with them, plus a bucket of rainwater and some leftover cooking fat, you can easily brew up enough soap to clean everybody and everything that needs it, and maybe even some that don't. From Mother Earth News here, a little article in here. Let me paste that in there for you guys about making your soap making, y'all. Let's see, Mariano. Uh, what do you got going on here? Let's play some
Brother,
audio.
you know, yeah, I'm so happy for this house because
Hell yeah, man.
I I have so many plans for this territory. Uh, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mariana, do you want to come on, man? You want to chat with me? Are you up for it? I'll bring you on. We can have a talk if you want. See, not really. Just got really lucky with crypto. Don't see his accomplishment. Uh, I don't know something. Your home still. Let's see.
Yeah, of course. I'm always down for a little chat, of course.
All right. What's up, man? Can you hear me? What's up, Mariano?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dude. What's going on?
Dude, I'm so happy for this house.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I was living in the plane of the center of the fucking city, and it was driving me insane because I couldn't sleep because the fucking police making the noises and all the fucking hospital.
Wow. Yeah,
Uh,
Mariano,
I,
where
I
where are you at, man? Like, what part of the or what part of the world are you in?
Yeah, right now I'm traveling Bolivia.
Bolivia. Wow.
Yeah, I got bored of my fucking city,
Yeah.
and I said, let's explore fucking my country. Because you know what? I got some problems with the vaccines. I'm
Uh,
not gonna take this fucking vaccines.
yeah.
I rather fucking die,
Yeah.
and I don't give a fuck. But they always ask me for a flight. I already got booked the fucking flight, and they didn't give a shit. They didn't let me in. And I wanted to go to Brazil because that's where my whole family is. Right here in Bolivia, I'm really alone.
Oh wow.
I yeah, it's very fucking sad because I don't have anybody, and
Oh
it's
wow.
very lonely. It's very lonely, and But you know,
You're always you're always a positive dude on here, man. It's like you're always got some kind of positive thing you're saying, and
yeah, exactly. That's my vibe, you know, and that's my lifestyle.
yeah,
Yeah. Like, you know, I don't give a fuck if I don't see my family because I think this month I will go because the restrictions are over, so I don't give a fuck anymore. And if things get it's already settled. I'm gonna travel, but I made a complaint to the government because it's my right to not be vaccinated. So
yeah,
so the airline had to change the laws.
uh huh,
And it was really funny because I was so hungry, so angry at them. I don't want to say this out loud, but I really, it really hurt me because that's the only family I have, and I haven't seen them, and I miss them, and I cried. You know, it hurts. That fucking vaccine can screw my whole vibe. I don't give a fuck. It's all over now. So I'm gonna go. I think I have 44 days
okay,
to choose. So you know what? You always repeat the same thing, and it's so true. If you don't make a change, who the fuck will? You know.
yeah,
That's what I like about your message because move your fucking ass, you fucking piece of shit. I'm just playing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to do something, right? You got to do something to make the world better for yourself. So yeah, you're currently in Bolivia, but you're trying to make your way to over to Brazil. But you found a place in where you're at.
Yeah. I actually have two places. I have a department, but it's in the city, and
Yeah.
you know, it really anxiety inducing because you know
All of the electrical signals and things, and all the noises, and all
like,
the.
like I told you, the hospital, the emergency room. I live near an hospital, and um, it feels like a horror movie. You know, somebody is dying, somebody is getting his face fucking ripped off.
Oh
You
wow.
know that
Yeah.
that's my dreams. That's my dreams now.
Oh
It's
crap.
fucking funny, man.
Well, you speak
No,
you
for
speak
real.
you speak English pretty well, man.
Yeah. That's because thank you, and that's because I've been reading um a lot of books, like at least two books a day, and I downloaded all from the library. That's
Wow.
better than that's better than LibGen. Look at this.
Oh yeah. What do you got? Where do you pull
Yeah.
yours from?
You want the secret? You want the secret? I'm gonna tell you the secret.
Okay.
It's you have to go to the deep web
Oh
to
okay.
you have to download Tor browser, and
Yeah.
you have to go to the hidden wiki. And
Yeah.
in the hidden wiki, you search for libraries. There are two main libraries. They are really massive.
Okay.
And one of them is called Just Another Library. That's the one.
Okay. Cool.
I downloaded like most. I don't know, maybe 60 gigas of full books. I think I'm gonna finish when I'm older.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Greg. It's
yeah.
really important that you look at this shit because not many people know it, and they have great books, and it's all about spreading information positively. That's how I managed to end my fucking depression, because depression, it's a state of mind, but at the same time it's something that your mind creates, and thanks to a deep web, yeah,
Hmm.
book, I overcome all that fucking shit, because anxiety and all that shit was fucking me up big time.
Yeah, yeah. I've had my battles with it myself, and what I found was like just trying to do some alternative stuff with my health, and then like trying to find a goal for myself in my life really helped me out as well. Like, getting together and starting that group, because I'm telling you, man, like having like a group of people that you can get with locally, um, that really helped me out a lot as well. But yeah, man, what book did you find that really helped you? You still there?
Yeah, of course. I was writing the title, just another library, but believe me, it's not another library. It has for real. It has one of the best books that I found online, because it's a community, because I can upload the book and put the resume there, and it's I like the fact that it's a community, but it's a community underground,
Yeah,
because yeah.
yeah. So
uh,
was there a book in general that helped you out, or was it like just getting to read a lot of different books?
you know like I told you, I've been reading uh, almost 2 books a day,
Yeah,
so it's hard to remember all the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
authors. It's too much, but I remember one that I don't know if you are familiar with Tsukuroi.
What?
No.
No, no.
Tsukuroi. Tsukuroi, it's an art form from Japan.
Okay.
When you broke a bowl, the Japanese, the masters, didn't throw it away. They repair the bowl with with gold, because they want to show the lines that were made when it was broken, because
Hmm.
that's a metaphor for when we are hurt, when we are lost, when we are broken, or you can't lose if you have this mentality of just learn from your mistakes, but at the same time, your mistakes are what made you a better person. I don't know if I'm.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just looked it up. Kintsugoi? Kintsugudoi? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's the word, but they sometimes use another word because there are various dialects in Japan. Yeah, yeah, it's that. It's you can look it up for that name. You're the master, hey man, very fast.
I just got it on a window over here. But
Yeah, well,
that's
you
pretty
you
beautiful.
own you own Google then.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Google is your bitch,
Yeah, that's pretty beautiful, man. That's a cool art form.
brother.
It seems.
Brother, I recommend you that you read that how passionate these people are, because what makes you who we are special. What makes you special is that wounds that you that you carry for your whole life. It's very beautiful. Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the people that go through like struggle tend to be more grateful people, in my opinion. And the people that have just go through life in total comfort, like
Oh,
they.
you're talking about me now.
I mean, that just what you said. The things that can hurt you can often help you become a better person because once you get through that pain and out the other end, you have a lot more gratitude for the things that you have and what you've built and
Yeah,
what you've created for yourself.
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And these wounds can help you to grow as a person. That's the most important thing, you
Yep.
know. Not let the wounds destroy you, but
Yeah.
yeah, exalted. I don't know if that word. Um, just show them off. Show them off. They're beautiful. Every scar is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of came to that in my life. It was after I lost my brother, I kind of got to a pretty dark place. And, like, it was like either let it destroy me or just like you said, let you either you have to make a choice if you're in that state. You make the
Exactly.
choice to either you let it destroy you or you move in a positive direction and you start to make some changes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I fucked up. I fucked up. I chose the path of self-destruction. Some people in the audience know what I'm talking about, but I overcome that, and I'm so happy with my life right now.
That's
Um,
good.
guys, I'm gonna need your help because I have this house so big and I'm so lonely, and I need some projects, some beautiful projects that you can I don't know, give me ideas because you guys are genius.
Well, do you want to build an aquaponics system?
Already did, bro. Aquaponic system is my life. Is my life. In my department, I show you. I think in my last blog, I think Steam it. I don't know. I think Hive. You know what? I have so many problems with Hive that I'm just really close to going insane because you in Boli.
I
Look,
haven't I
look,
haven't
look,
posted on there in
look,
a long time.
look. I've been stolen my phone
Yeah.
um, because this is a dangerous city. You can't even take a call. And then they stole my password from Hive from Mariano 123 and Mariano 0. So
Oh
I
shit! It's
yeah,
they got your private
uh,
key.
yeah, he changed, but I don't care about the money because the money is just a plus, you know. I'm curious about the technology. Technology. I'm all about the technology, but it depresses me a lot. But um,
What's your new account?
that's the thing.
Or you haven't created one?
No, no, yeah, I created one, but it's kind of um, how can I say? It's kind of private because it has here. I'm in Bolivia, you know,
Yeah.
and marijuana is illegal,
Oh really?
and yeah, I can't show you my garden. You know, it has to be underground. I have no option.
I gotcha.
But
It's still illegal where I am too. So, but there's all
yeah,
kinds of like states that are now it's now legal in. So it's kind of ridiculous. I mean,
yeah. Look, it's really stupid, but it's just a plant. Right now, I have a lot of marijuana, and I don't even smoke in it
yeah,
because you know it's just a plant. I use it just when I can't sleep. I can't sleep because I have insomnia sometimes.
yeah,
And yeah, but it's just a plant, and it's a secret block, but it doesn't have much HP. I had another called Literally Me. It was the perfect name for me, Literally Me. But again, it was stolen, and this time I got beat down. But that's another story. Mm.
damn, dude. So Bolivia is pretty
Mm,
hard in the streets there, huh?
it's hardcore. It's hardcore shit because if you can't defend yourself, you, basically you can't get the fuck out of your fucking house. You're gonna rot there.
Wow.
That's the last.
Yeah, that's my one of my buddies that I met when I was down in Mexico in Acapulco. We were hanging out. He ended up marrying a girl from Colombia, and they were telling me about like how people will just like climb up into your window and like steal crap out of your apartments, like all the time there and stuff. I guess
Yeah,
I guess
that's
she was
normal. That's
in the
normal.
capital of Colombia though in what is it like Bogota or something like that.
Bogota, Bogota.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
but you got outside of the city. Is it a little better outside of the city, or is it still pretty bad?
no, no. Outside of the city, people are very ignorant, and if you see a person who is new, they instantly think bad about you because they are very close. They are basically family. You know, in the country lives families.
Ah,
So
okay.
if yeah, they're very territorial, territorial piercing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, they're Bolivia in the countryside is very poor, so you can't live a comfortable life there because there is no electricity, and I need electricity for my business.
Yeah.
Mm, internet, there barely has internet. Um, no, it's a no. never gonna go there because there's nothing there. Just just misery for real.
So did you grow up there, or you said your family is in Brazil? Did you move from Brazil over to Bolivia, or how did that go?
No, no. I was. I was. I lived. No, sorry for my fucking English.
Oh, you're
I'm
good,
a
man.
little bit. I'm a little bit drunk, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, I took a fucking taquinha. Taquinha is beer from here from Cochabamba.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I yeah, taquinha is not so good, but it does the job.
it's like the Bud Light of Bolivia.
Ah, fuck Bud Light, fuck everything at this point.
Oh yeah, I know how ridiculous that is. That was so
Yeah, yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Imagine a Bolivian knowing that shit.
Appar-
Fuck that.
uh, apparently, a bunch of people around the world are
I,
rejecting
I,
Bud
but,
Light.
but,
So.
but look, look. I don't need to know. But why do I know that shit?
I know it's everywhere. It's just
Fucking internet, I hate you.
if you're on the internet and you see the stories, that's just a big story.
Yeah, yeah, it's stupid, but the actions are tanked. It's gonna go bankrupt because the mainly consumer is male, hetero, and
Yeah,
hates trannies. That's the truth. That's the truth, bro.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, they
so
like,
fuck them. So fuck them.
yeah,
Go walk, go broke. Yeah.
exactly, man. I hope all these freaking corporations just go into a fiery pit of their own demise. And but I
No,
mean,
I don't think so. I don't think so. The agenda is too strong. It's gonna get worse by the time
how
we speak. We are speaking. It's getting
how are
worse.
things going down there where you're at right now? Like
Good question.
as far as like
Good-
government clampdowns and things, how did it go during the whole lockdowns? Or did people care or not care, or how did
Yeah,
it go
yeah,
down there?
yeah. Lockdowns. No, no. People think. Well, people assume that we are we are all vaccinated, but many people are not, especially from the countryside, or like me, for example. I hate vaccines, and
Yeah,
there are some people like me, and but everybody is vaccinated. Basically, 1998% are are getting blood clots. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, baby.
I have a hard time like thinking that so many people took the jabs, but the propaganda
Yeah.
was so strong, and like
Yeah.
there was just shoveling it down people's throats with the fear and the constant like death like numbers and stuff on the screens. So I guess I can kind of see it, but I kind of feel like it can't be that many people that did it. But I guess it's quite a lot. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? You think a lot of people did it?
Of course, many people did because it's called a psyop, a psychological operation. They brainwashed people and they make it look like it wasn't mandatory, sorry,
Yeah.
but in a way it was, because they couldn't let you in some places. So it's a psyop,
Yep.
and the people that took the bait, are screwed, and the people who didn't, well,
Yeah,
well,
what made you like so this is what I like to ask a lot of people is was there like something in your life like were you always kind of a curious person, always kind of question authority, was there something a moment in your life, a book you read, something like that that kind of like woke you up to like a lot of the different things that are going on in the world? Like the agenda to control people and all that. Like, what did you have like kind of a moment where you kind of
uh,
realized a lot of stuff was fucked up?
you wanna know the truth? No, no. Because I have a very, I'm a very critical person, and when I spot a lie in a book, I reject it. I put it in the dumpster because I need the truth, and I'm passionate for the truth.
Okay.
And all of the books that I read about conspiracies, about the Illuminati, the brainwashing, the CIA, all the bullshit. If they have a minor error, I reject it, and no book has um, has been useful so far.
Yeah, so you're
I've
just
been,
you're really skeptic. You're a skeptic, and you're just seeking the truth, is what you would say.
yeah, yes, yeah. I'm not exactly skeptic. I'm just a guy, that wants to find the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I search a lot because I don't want to be a sheep. But at the end of the day, um, it hurts that the society is going to hell, and it's really really sad. In but uh, what what I can do to help, for example, I read people a lot when I talk to people, even in public spaces, but nobody listens. So why
Hmm.
bother? Why bother? uh, I don't give a fuck at this point.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean, I think
I did my best, my friends.
yeah, I did my best. I did my best. Um.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's really like I
dude.
keep trying to think like how can we get through to people the best, and it's I guess like I used to be really confrontational, but maybe now I'm kind of like thinking about like how I can like maybe plant the seeds in people's minds, and maybe I could get through them to them in different ways, like maybe comedy is a good way to do it, like making people laugh, or like maybe just showing people like the different things they could do to help themselves, so um but I think
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
think it is important to keep talking to people. I think it's good to not give up hope on that.
That's why I love your show, because it's the only show that in this style that tells the truth. I searched so much. This is the only one on the web, and congratulations, man.
Oh,
Con-
well, I'm just trying to do my best with it, and
no, 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 no. You're not trying to best.
I'm trying to get some information out to people, and at least get try to give some solutions. I don't know, a lot of the guys that I like to feature on here, like some of the folks like Jack Spirko's podcast, the Survival Podcast. He does a really good job on trying to give some people some skills. I really look up to him. He's kind of one of the big inspirations for me. But Richard Grove in Grand Theft World. There's a ton of people that I pull from. But I just like to try to bring people a little bit of hope in this, and like, yeah, there is some stuff that we can do, and I think that's, it's just important to keep going and keep, trying to bring light into a dark world. You feel me? Um. So Mariano, you said you got a business of some kind. Like, how can people support you if they need? Like, you sell anything online, or is it mainly a local business? Like, how can people support your business and what you got going on? You still there? I think, did we lose you, Mariano? Am I even saying your name right? I always say your name, but I don't know if I'm saying it right either. It looks like maybe I lost Mariano there, but I'll leave him in the chat room. But it looks like he dropped off there. But let's see, Normock, what are you saying up here a little while ago here? 4 winters ago, I kind of quit doing things, and it was horrible. Yeah, yeah, man. I had a period there where I was like, right when I sold my house and I moved back in with my parents, man. Like, I was like pretty depressed there for a little while, and like not like not doing. I was working, going back and forth, kind of like working on my property and everything. And I went to a couple. I guess I was like right after I quit, I left my job. I was like I built that solar trailer thing, and then I was in the effort of like moving all that stuff out of the house and getting it up on Airbnb, and then like doing the Airbnb thing for a while. And trying to work on my property in the meantime. It was just I was kind of like ostracized myself from a lot of people, and I was kind of like pretty alone there for a little while. And then it wasn't until going into the those conferences, and I was able to meet somebody that was from around this area of Alabama, and then we started the whole Freedom Cell group. And from there, man, we've got a pretty solid little group of folks that are really like-minded, and like what Mariano was saying earlier. There, it's like all these little things in your life happen, and they lead you to certain directions. And when you're kind of going down that path towards choosing to go down a positive path, that some incredible people might come along in your life and stuff. So at least that's something that happened with me. It was pretty cool. And gonna continue to go to these different events and stuff. I just signed up to go to. I just bought my tickets for the next Self-Reliance Festival. I did miss that virtual summit that I was telling you guys about a little while ago. But I got that. Well, I still have the videos for the Exit and Build Summit by John Bush put on. And we might watch some of those videos here in the future. Well, I did have to pay for them, so I maybe not want to share that out so readily, I guess, but I might put them on like my Discord server or something like that. Let's see. But that was cool getting to talk to Mariano. We've never really had a voice conversation before, so just see him in the chat a lot, and he used to come on the Saturday show when I streamed on Saturdays, so that was pretty cool. What were you saying up there, Normok? Yeah, lack of movement, exercise is the biggest cause of depression. I think that is really a big deal. And then yeah, when you're hanging out in places where you get no sun, I think that really affects people as well. I do want to show this little part of the Grand Theft World podcast real quick here. Sorry, not the Grand Theft World podcast, but the there was a recent documentary that came out, Plandemic 3, and let's see, I caught it, so I'm just going to play a portion of this, but here's a link where you can see the full thing. This was recently released, and I like this one part with Matthias Desmond that was he's talking about the the mass formation, how people can come into groups and and create this mass formation psychosis. And I bought his book on mass formation. I'm sorry, I'm coughing a little bit here. Kind of losing my voice. I need to have a drink of water. But I found that part in this where he's talking about mass formation, and then there is another part later on where oh crap, man, I just lost my spot. Where was this at? He kind of sets it up for you on how the mass formation works, and then kind of wraps it up with a kind of a conclusion on like what's a solution. So yeah, I'm gonna play this for you guys real quick here, and then we will wrap it up for tonight. But yeah, let me play a portion of this for you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna read his book. I got like his book, and then Yeonmi Park's new book about While Time Remains. I bought that book directly from her and got an autographed copy. And then there's this other book I want to get called School World Order that they just interviewed the author of it on the Grand Theft World podcast. But it goes into like more of the history behind the modern education system and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, School World Order. Sorry, I'm jumping around here a little bit. Let's see, what was I doing? Here we go. Let me play this little bit for you, and then I'll play the kind of the solutions portion.
Was blatantly wrong. After a few months, it became clear to me that the only mechanism that could explain what was happening in society was what is usually referred to as mass formation. Mass formation is identical to hypnosis. And this term refers to a specific kind of group formation, which has very special characteristic effects at the level of individual mental functioning. And one of these effects is that an individual that is in the grip of mass formation typically lose every capacity to take a critical distance from what they believe in, from what the group believes in.
You would think it would be people with lower IQs that would be more susceptible to this, but it seems to be the other way around. Are you seeing this?
I have seen this, and it does seem to be predicted by educational status and IQ.
We look to be verified for our belief system, right? And so a doctor goes to the CDC. The CDC says this is true, it must be true. I'm staying in that zone. It's actually people outside of the system go, well, I want to challenge the CDC here for a second. Where's this study come from? Where's it, and that's what I do. All of these people were kept out of the conversation.
All I can comment
and you were
there,
wanting me to sign onto a social contract where the scientific method isn't being used.
I'm not interested in medical pedigree. I'm interested in medical consensus.
People who are highly intelligent tend to go and get a lot of degrees. Those people have spent so many years in institutions to get those degrees that they have developed a trust and confidence in not only the educational institutions, but those that support them, which are largely government bodies. And so they start from the place of, if it's told by the university, by the government, it's probably going to be true.
What I've learned about science is that it's really they're looking at like a fragment of the world, and it's all they see. It's all they're looking at. The world, they don't see the world.
So I think that there's a disconnect between people who are smart and have lots of degrees with actual reality, with the lived experience of nature, of life, that you don't see with people who are actually working with their hands outdoors all of the time.
A mass formation typically emerges in a society when very specific conditions are met. First and for all, the most central condition is a major part of the population needs to feel lonely.
Doctors say the very rules to keep people safe from the virus are doing great damage when it comes to anxiety, depression, and even suicide. And now everyone is suffering, but children are particularly at risk.
The real pandemic here is the psychological warfare that's being waged on every single human being. See, if you take a human being and you put them in a chronic fear state, and you couple that with human isolation, what happens is they psychologically decompensate and live in such emotional pain that they will gravitate in an irrational way to anything that you promise them will alleviate that pain.
Once people feel disconnected from their environment, they will typically start to experience a lack of meaning-making in life. And under these conditions, if a narrative is distributed through the mass media, indicating an object of anxiety, and a strategy to deal with this object of anxiety, they suddenly, punk, connect to one small object of fear, for instance the coronavirus, and afterwards, people don't feel lonely anymore. They feel connected again.
Let me hear it if you've had the Pfizer vaccine. Let me hear it from Moderna, AstraZeneca. Let's hear it from the anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, when he described how Normock, what a great trailer. It summarizes the problem with the professional class. Yeah, when he described how the people that are highly intelligent seek all these degrees, and therefore they're like, okay, well, these people can't, I've got so much invested in this, basically. It's like they're kind of like stuck in a paradigm because they can't like ever accept that the things that they've been taught could be wrong in any way. That the people that have given them the information and they're giving them the straight answer, right? Because like, man, how can this be wrong? I've got so much invested in all this time and all this effort I've put into all this stuff. So yeah, it kind of boxes their minds. Whereas, people that are looking from the outside of that field or profession or, whatever area that these people are, think that they're some kind of authority in or whatever, kind of looking at it and like, no, this stuff doesn't make sense. It's just outside of the, it's crazy because especially with what we're actually, seeing as far as the numbers and the type of people it's affecting and stuff. So it's like, so yeah, like you're saying, it's a trap essentially. I think it's also been described like the people that have all these different degrees. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I've heard, it's where like somebody that's like super, or I guess they think that they're like super educated in one area or whatever, that they they think they're very knowledgeable in certain areas, but they really have no real knowledge. They think they know more than they know. Let's see. Dunning-Kruger effect, cognitive bias, where people with low ability, expertise, or experience tend to overestimate their ability or knowledge in a specific area. This occurs because a lack of self-awareness prevents them from accurately assessing their own skills. So I think you see that. I think you see that a lot in people that are, have all these degrees or PhD or whatever behind their name. They think they know everything, but they really have no experience or actual, hands-on knowledge on a lot of stuff. They just kind of act like they do, or they, kind of believe that they have a lot of knowledge that they might, not actually possess. So let's see. So yeah, that kind of described the issue that we had with the whole, the masses kind of going crazy during the whole lockdowns and doing all that kind of stuff, and governments being able to sway people, to put people in fear and separate and isolate people. And then, people just buying into it. And I remember having discussions with my family members talking about, like, they were wanted to do family gatherings, but they wanted me to wear masks. And then, like, it started a bunch of discussions about, well, like, if people are that afraid, then, like, should we just outlaw cars? 'Cause you could die in a car. Like, should we just, like, anytime we walk outside, we could get hurt or injured or killed or whatever. So should we just walk in like a force field bubble all the time? We all just be bubble people? You just want to live in a bubble boy world? It was kind of the discussions I got into, and it was just like, damn, why? If you pull it to its logical point, you're gonna end up with a world like that, because it's like people can't ever get hurt ever. So let's just make you live in a little pod or a bubble, and we'll just bring you in your bug protein, and you can have your slow drip of nutrients to keep you going as you're vegging out in this virtual reality program that we've built for you. So I don't want to do that. So yeah, what's the solution? What is this guy, Matthias Desmet? I'm sure if you go get his book, I think it's titled Mass Formation. Matthias Desmet. Let's see if we can find the book. Yeah, The Psychology of Totalitarianism, I believe, is his book. Yeah. Here is his book, The Psychology of Totalitarianism, Matthias Desmet. Yeah, I bought that book from him, so I'm planning on reading that one when I get the time. And might try to find an audiobook version of it, because that's a lot of the time I'm able to actually digest some of this stuff through audiobook. Okay. What does he say about the solutions? What can we do?
Most important thing is always that the dissonant voices continue to speak out, and, also extremely important, that they don't start to form a mass or a crowd themselves. Because that happens very easily as well. Happens very easily. Once a large-scale mass formation starts, the people who do not go along with them feel threatened and they can start to form a mass themselves. So it's extremely important not to form a mass ourselves. That means to form a group, a coherent group, and that what unifies this group should in the first place be the fact that everybody who belongs to the group can have his own opinion and can speak in his own way.
What matters most to you?
Yeah, so yeah, that's the solution on Desmond's part. I think, you know, that was a pretty good pretty good description. You know, it's like keep up with the dissonant voices. Don't get discouraged, and the dissident voices need to stay in the public dialogue, so that people can find the truth. They can go seek the truth. Like, you know, don't ever. One quote that I've carried with me from one of the guys that I followed for a little while was just to listen to all but follow none. You know, we gotta keep speaking out about what we see, and that the things that we know that we can affect in our world. And, you know, that starts with the individual. And I liked that he said, like, you don't want to form another group yourself where you're like kind of excluding, you know, outside opinion or whatever. Like, you kind of have to have a good balance of ideas, and people come, you know, talking about ideas, talking about issues, talking about things. So I thought that was those were some pretty good points of the program. But watch the whole thing. It's a really good documentary. Plandemic 3: The Great Awakening. You can find it on Odysee. On this Quantum Rhinos account has got it posted on there right now on Odysee. And then let's see, what was this other book I was looking up for you guys? School World Order. And John Kleisik. So this is one of the other book recommendations that came from the latest Grand Theft World podcast. So I figured I'd drop that one in there for you guys as well. And they did an interview with the author, and it's pretty long, but let me see. I do have this pulled up. I'm wondering if I can just get to a portion of the interview that they did with him, which I thought was really, really interesting. This guy is super, super interesting. Did a lot of research for his book, and they did talk about. If I can find it, I want to try to find the part where they're talking about, like, you have this kind of theory of making everything relative, and it's kind of like comes from this idea from I guess Calvinism, which is like they believe that everything was like kind of like predetermined or something to a certain extent, and then out of that came other ideas. I think part of that kind of like went into the whole eugenics thing, and went further down the line, but basically, like, it kind of gets us to this whole postmodernism kind of thought, where you can kind of define reality however you see it, and that comes with the changing of words, and, you know, not having some kind of common ground on how to describe objective morality so that we can communicate with each other, and being, you know, a tool to further divide people. Yeah, here we go. School World Order guy right here. Probably about 2 hours and 40 minutes or so into the podcast here. We'll see if we can just listen to a snip of this at the end. At the end of this. Let's see. Normock, what do you got? Real Dean status. Nick Fuentes on the necessity of white identity politics. We as a people, as a country, are under attack by groups, not merely individuals. Interesting ideas about group dynamics. I haven't really watched much of his stuff, Nick Fuentes. I just hear. So I saw him on the old. Yeah, I'm not gonna play. But yeah, I haven't caught much of his stuff. All right, let me play this real quick for you guys on the Grand Theft World podcast.
Various other public-private partnerships through charter schools and vouchers and stuff. And he actually, there's a Rauner college prep. And so what ended up happening was one of the departments where I was adjuncting actually got shut down. So at that point, I figured, well, I guess, there's no buffer left anymore. So I might as well write a little article about it. And I called it The Corporatization of Education. And lo and behold, it was largely built on what are called memorandums. So they were like published separately, and then eventually he compiled them all. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's how he could self-fund, because he had all his, like, he got canceled.
Meaning he refers both to these black books and wherever he got that calligraphy file as also a catalog. And the D and the P has to do with the decade and the period number, right? The decade of the class, and the period has resources. He did his own. He found some other resources, and Patrick Wood, who wrote Trilaterals Over Washington with him. I met him recently at a conference in L.A. And he said they called Anthony the Hoover vacuum cleaner when he was at the Hoover Institute, because he would find everything and he would suck it up, right? If you had information out there that was useful, he was the guy that could find it. And this is before like internet, right? I mean, like the ability to, using the white pages or other directories, writing, handwritten letters, making telephone calls, like is a lot less efficient than it would be today. So that's the reason I point that as it's a testament to his research skills as much as his intellect.
Yeah, it's not even just his research skills or his intellect, just the ability to do all those things for yourself. Usually an academic has like a secretary. Hey, call this library, find this thing, bring it back. They're like paralegals in the academic world, right? He gets cut off from all that. So he does. He has to represent himself, make his own phone calls, send his own letters, and then travel. He's got to pay for that. If he has to go to that library to see the thing, he's got to pay for that. And that's extremely tough. And so I remember people like Sutton and Quigley and things like this, when I start to feel challenged or sorry for myself, when that victim mentality tries to grip me, I was like, whoa. This is nothing compared to what the other people who came before us had to go through. So yeah, it's about trying to keep it real, because we know such history. If you don't, it's easy to feel like, oh, the world's tough today. No, it was tough back then too. Nobody's gotten an easy road to hoe, as far as I know, So this aspect of Iserbyt and Sutton, when did you first come across Charlotte's work, and how did you?
All right, well, I would recommend at least listening to this part of the podcast here. It's probably from about if you don't want to listen to the full show, this part here with the interview with let's see, what was his name? John Kleisek. He wrote this book, School World Order. Go ahead and I would recommend listening to that section there of his interview, because they get into some pretty good gravy there. But we'll end it on that tonight. Don't get discouraged, guys. Just keeping on in your daily lives, and bringing some light into the world, whatever way that you can. So I appreciate you guys, Crimson, Normock, Ron, Dunn, for hanging out with me here tonight. Folks that are watching on the YouTube, if you're out there watching on there, thank you guys. We'll catch you guys on the next podcast. Hope everybody have a good week, and we'll catch you next week for another one. Thanks, Normock. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for all the interaction, engagement on the show. Thanks, Rondon. Let me see.